Good morning, everybody. I am Lisa Choplin, the director of the I-495 and I-270 P3 program. Welcome to the P3 program's Phase 1 Pre-Development Networking Virtual event. Before I get started, I just want to remind everybody, if while you're not, or if you are not presenting today, to please have your mic on mute, as well as your video camera turned off. This is a massive program that will provide significant opportunities for the small, disadvantaged, and minority businesses, and that's why we're here today. We have broken today's event into two sessions. Hold on. We have broken today's event into two sessions. Session 1 will include an update on the P3 program, followed by a brief presentation from each of the shortlisted proposers. This will be followed by Session 2, the one-on-one meetings between pre-registered DBE firms and each of the proposers. Before I get started, though, I want to briefly introduce you to Dwight Barber, the P3 program's EEO and Diversity Manager. Dwight leads the Opportunity MDOT program on behalf of the MDOT SHA P3 office. Welcome, Dwight. The I-495 and I-270 P3 program is the largest component of Governor Hogan's vision, the Traffic Relief Plan, for a balanced transportation system in Maryland that addresses the severe congestion, will improve the quality of life, and enhance Maryland's economic viability. The National Capital Region has the second highest commuting times in the nation, second only to New York. On average, there is severe congestion on I-270 and I-495 for 7 to 10 hours a day, impacting travel in the region, businesses, and Marylanders' lives. Recently, we've heard a lot about COVID-19 and how that has reduced the traffic along I-495 and I-270. But in Maryland, we've seen a rebound of about 85% of the traffic as compared to a year ago today. To embody the governor's vision, 5 high-level goals were established for the P3 program early on and have been carried through each stage of its development. Reduce the severe I-495 and I-270 corridor traffic congestion, minimize encroachment beyond the existing roadway by prioritizing and reducing residential relocations, deliver solutions that result in no net cost to the state, accelerate overall program delivery by using a P3 delivery method, and optimize opportunities for innovative approaches in addressing all of our goals. The I-495 and I-270 P3 program includes more than 70 miles of highway improvements along the entire length of I-495 and I-270 in Maryland. Under the P3 program, the I-495 and I-270 Managed Lane Study is our first environmental study covering 48 of those 70 miles and is being done in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. The study, highlighted in dark blue on the screen, begins south of the George Washington Memorial Parkway on I-495 in Virginia, including the American Legion Bridge, and extends to west of Maryland 5 and along I-270 from the Capital Beltway to north of I-370. A portion of the Managed Lane Study is part of the Phase 1 solicitation. The Managed Lane Study was initiated in March of 2018. Over the course of the last 2.5 years, we have held 16 public workshops to seek input from the public as we have further refined the alternatives to address the NEPA study. The Draft Environmental Impact Study, or DEIS, was published on July 10th of this year and includes the traffic, environmental, engineering, and financial analysis of 6 build alternatives and the no build alternative. 6 public hearings, 4 virtual and 2 in-person public hearings were held between August and September to provide an opportunity for the public to provide testimony on the DEIS and the joint permit application for the alterations to floodplains, wetlands, and waterways. Once the comment period ends on November 9th, next week, MDOT SHA and Federal Highway will review the comments and consider the need for additional analyses, design, avoidance, minimization, and mitigation of unavoidable impacts. A recommended preferred alternative will be identified in consideration of the comments received on the DEIS, which will be documented in the final environmental impact statement and record of decision anticipated to be published in spring of 2021. Similar to how there will be multiple environmental studies under the P3 program, we have broken the program into multiple phases for delivery. Phase 1 of the I-495 and I-270 P3 program, highlighted on the screen in violet, covers I-495 from the George Washington Memorial Parkway to I-270 and along I-270 from I-495 to I-70. This is our first solicitation. It is approximately 37 miles, which is nearly half of the overall program. Within Phase 1, our initial focus will include improvements to I-495 from the George Washington Memorial Parkway across the American Legion Bridge and up to I-270 to I-370, which is part of the managed lane study that I just mentioned. Subsequent portions of the Phase 1 between I-370 and I-70 will follow the completion of a second independent NEPA study. Maryland is using a different model than our past P3s to solicit Phase 1, a progressive P3 model, also known as a pre-development approach. A progressive P3 is a two-step project delivery method in which the selected P3 developer will be a strategic partner with MDOT in developing and delivering Phase 1. This approach has been used successfully to deliver several highway P3s across the country, similar to Maryland's P3 program, including those in Texas and Virginia. This approach will enable MDOT to engage the phase developer in a collaborative dialogue with stakeholders to identify solutions to further avoid and minimize and mitigate potential impacts. Ensure all sections within each phase are delivered efficiently and minimize risk. Increase the market participation in the P3 program and allow for better market pricing. Finally, this model and the pre-development approach will allow MDOT to work in a collaborative environment with the phase developer to meet the program goals. The phase developer will oversee pre-development work in coordination with MDOT and will facilitate the development of specific sections, leading to the execution of Section P3 agreements. As illustrated here, the phase developer may potentially develop multiple Section P3 agreements that would be responsible for the design, build, toll operations, and maintenance work. The number of sections and configurations of subcontracts has not been determined yet and will ultimately be agreed upon between MDOT and the phase developer. As I noted, each section developer will be responsible for the final design, construction, operations, and maintenance of the section. Through this model, there will be numerous opportunities for subcontractors. But today, and under the Phase 1 pre-development work, the focus will be largely on technical support services as outlined on this slide. I'm sure that all of you have been following the solicitation process for Phase 1. However, here is a brief update. MDOT initiated the solicitation for the phase developer back in February with the release of the request for qualifications. We shortlisted 4 proposers in July, and since then we've been revising the draft request for proposals based on a discussion and feedback from the shortlisted teams. Currently, we anticipate issuing the final request for proposals to the shortlisted proposers on November 20th, with their technical and financial proposals due December 23rd. A best value evaluation process will be used in the selection of the phase developer, which we plan to identify in February of 2021. After seeking approval from the Maryland Transportation Authority Board and going through the mandatory 30-day legislative review, we will seek Maryland Board of Public Works approval of the Phase 1 P3 agreement in the April-May timeframe to 2021. The P3 agreement would be developed to meet the goal of initial financial close of a section agreement and groundbreaking by fall of 2022. This is a large-scale, long-term program where we will have multiple 50-year concession agreements. It is a massive program that needs the support of the contracting, consultant engineering, and disadvantaged minority community throughout the area. MDOT needs your intelligence, your insights, and innovation to bring the transformative solutions to relieve the daily congestion that can be achieved through the inclusion of DBE firms. I want to thank you for your time and taking part in today's networking event. I'm now going to turn the remainder of the session over to our shortlisted proposers so you can hear directly from them. Each has been allotted 15 minutes to make their presentation, and in order to keep on schedule, I will give a friendly reminder to wrap up presentations if we are getting close to that 15-minute time limit. This session, including my presentation, as well as the presentations from each of the proposers, is being recorded and will be made available on the P3 program website shortly after this event. To start things out, I would like to introduce Jeff Siegel, who will be presenting on behalf of the Accelerate Maryland Partners team. Thank you very much.
Well, let's see if that's a little better. Good morning. My name is Jeff Siegel from Macquarie Capital, who along with Transurban make up Accelerate Maryland Partners. Between myself and my counterpart, Amanda Allen from Transurban, we lead the community outreach and workforce development workstream for AM Partners. It's great to be here today and be part of MDOT's DBE outreach event, as well as be part of what should be a once-in-a-generation transformational project, not just for Maryland commuters, but also generating economic opportunity for Maryland's workforce. We only have a few minutes with you this morning, but wanted to set the stage for our presentation and certainly look forward to meeting you virtually in our one-on-ones later today. Just a quick overview. We'll introduce who Accelerate Maryland Partners are, some of our project experience. We'll introduce our DBE and workforce development team, discuss our commitments to Maryland and to you, and go over some pre-development opportunities similar to what Lisa just outlined, as well as provide some information on how best to stay connected with Accelerate Maryland Partners. As I mentioned, Accelerate Maryland Partners is comprised of Transurban and Macquarie Capital. Transurban is one of the world's largest project developers and operates toll roads throughout the world. Macquarie Capital is one of the largest P3 developers of infrastructure as well. Currently, Dewberry and Stantec, who have significant local presence and experience, are supporting us as design partners. It's important to note that we are a developer-led team, and the responsibility for executing the DBE and workforce development program will reside with us. This allows us to consistently and continuously execute our strategy throughout the multiple phases or sections of the project, including identifying opportunities in non-traditional sectors, including within our delivery team and long-term operations and maintenance opportunities as well. Naturally, not having a contracting partner in place gives us even greater control over the outcome and makes it easier for businesses to get connected to our team, as we will introduce our firms to our contractor team. We do have the experience to get it done. Collectively, we have developed more than 90 projects around the world with a track record of delivering them on time, on budget, and consistently exceeding DBE participation and workforce development goals. In the Mid-Atlantic region alone, we have completed 5 projects that have resulted in more than $1 billion in contract value to DBE firms. Many of these projects I'm sure you're familiar with. Just across the river in Virginia, the 395, 495, and 95 express lanes were all projects completed by Transurban, all under a pre-development agreement structure. The Elizabeth River Tunnel project in Hampton Roads, Virginia was also delivered under a similar structure as this program. We think this project is a great opportunity to produce significant economic opportunity and workforce development for the region, and we're committed to that. We believe in inclusivity and diversity, and will lead by example. Our team will have diverse project leadership, and our commitment to you, the DBE community, to MDOT, and to Maryland is to exceed requirements for local workforce and small, minority, veteran, and disadvantaged business participation, as well as to identify, train, and assemble a local workforce during project development, construction, operations, and maintenance that reflects Maryland's diversity. We will be transparent in this process and continuously engage the local community. We've pulled together a diverse team to help us execute our DBE and workforce development efforts. I'd now like to introduce Corey Raymond from Modern Times, who will outline our broader DBE and workforce development team.
Thank you, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedules this morning to join us in learning about this exciting opportunity on the I-495 270P3 and the competing teams. I do see some familiar names and companies that are going to be attending this event, so welcome back. We've had a previous DBE outreach event, and we're excited to see some familiar companies and names. I'm excited to be here to speak with you all about the Accelerate Maryland Partners, or AM Partners team, and our approach to small business engagement. AM Partners has established a JV team of 3 local certified firms to head the DBE and workforce development programs. Myself as a project manager with Modern Times, or MTI, Eben Smith, the president of 3E, and Florence Amate, the president of Laser. Just to give you guys a little information on the structure, I'll be serving the role as diversity manager with MTI and will be the overall economic opportunity program manager, including outreach, compliance, and reporting activity. 3E is our community organization liaison, and Laser will be responsible for the mentor, protege, and training programs. Between these 3 firms, we hold a magnitude of national and local experience within the small business community and P3 projects, which includes the MGM Harbor and the newly awarded Prince George's County Schools P3 development program. Collectively, we also bring a lot of experience and familiarity to the Maryland DBE and small business community, as well as specialized resources that we will be tapping into. Many in the DBE community have already heard of or worked with Eben with 3E or Florence with Laser in some capacity, as they have been staples in the local community for years. I am a Prince George's County resident and have had the pleasure of becoming part of the local contracting community for the past 3 years, but I do bring a wealth of knowledge from my experience on mega projects nationwide. As you may know, we are in the developmental and bidding stages, so we're currently building out our program for Opportunity MDOT. But what I can tell you is that based on the connections and the experience of these 3 firms, our program will be very robust, inclusive, and innovative. To paint a broad picture now, our approach will be very simple for you as a subcontractor. We'll include everyone who wants to be included, simple. We'll also help you prepare for these opportunities, and that starts immediately. Our team is committed to this, and many of you attending have already started to receive information from us. We hosted an event last month, as I stated earlier, and we'll be hosting another outreach event in a few weeks, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. Once firms are connected with us, our commitment is to continually notify you of project opportunities and the things you need to do to get prepared for those opportunities with Accelerate Maryland Partners. Our team will be in place throughout the life of the project, so we'll essentially be building a profile of interested firms that will allow us to connect with you and connect you to the right point of contact or entry. As MDOT explained earlier, this project will be released in phases, which means that we'll have ongoing communication and multiple opportunities to gear up and help you prepare for each phase. Again, that is our commitment, and this starts today. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of our scopes. So discussing some of the pre-development opportunities or scopes of work that AM Partners team will be looking to procure early on, we've basically identified 7 major scopes that we're going to be looking for initially. There's scopes like engineering, and to break that down a little bit further, it includes things like utility and drainage, traffic control, environmental, highway and structural work. We're going to be looking for design services, which includes scopes like estimating, CAD design, project controls, estimating. We're also going to be looking for construction management teams, utility surveying, QA and QC, design and cost estimating, and professional services, a plethora of professional services. Again, these are some initial early works for the pre-development phase, but a lot of additional categories will come later. As Jeff stated, we are developer-led, so these are scopes that AM Partners will be procuring directly. Having this developer-led approach is really advantageous for our subcontractors because we don't have a contractor integrated with a scope that they would typically so perform. This basically means that we can be more creative with our approach in releasing scopes of work. And as such, it's critical that we engage with all interested firms now for pre-development work. While the scopes that I just went over, we're looking for immediately, I want to reiterate that we are looking to connect with all firms that will allow us to engage with firms that can be utilized for section work, which will start much later. Again, I'll reiterate that additional opportunities will emerge once the project advances, so just keep that in mind. Our goal is to make our team more or less a one-stop shop for firms so that all information will be shared with our project team to ensure that you as a company aren't chasing multiple entities and spinning your wheels trying to figure out how to get connected. So we talked a little bit about the outreach event that we hosted already, but I want to bring it to your attention and make everyone aware that we will be hosting our second virtual DBE event in a couple of weeks. So please mark your calendars for Wednesday, November 18th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. This is going to be a great opportunity to hear more details about our program and our process. This is also going to be a great opportunity to hear more from our team and to start facilitating those relationships. We have sent out flyers with details on how you can register for the event, but this information will also be available on our project website along with our vendor registration form. So just like the link says here, please go to acceleratemmarylandpartners.com. You can also scan the QR code that's here, and it'll take you directly to our website, and you can find the registration link there for both the event and for the registration form. So again, we really encourage you guys to go and check that out. You can scan it right from your phone, so as you're listening to the rest of the presentation, you can be registering with us to get that process started now. And then lastly, I wanted to leave you with our contact information for the Accelerate Maryland Partners DBE and Workforce Development Leadership Team. These are going to be your key players and the appropriate points of contact for engaging with us. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. There's also a main project website that we've created. You can see at the very top there, ampartners@moderntimesinc.com. Please connect. That concludes my time, but we are looking forward to connecting and speaking with many of you later this afternoon in our one-on-one sessions with the rest of our team. So again, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. I want to thank the Accelerate Maryland Partners team. Next will be the Potomac Mobility Group with Steve DeWitt presenting.
Good morning, Lisa. Can you see my screen there just to be sure?
I sure can. Thanks, Steve. And we can hear you.
Very good. Good morning, everyone. We do very much appreciate the time and effort that all of you out there are putting forward and learning about this project, looking for opportunities, and trying to become part of this really monumental and I would argue milestone project here in the country. And so what we want to do, as previous team did, we want to share a little bit of detail with you here. And I am not able to advance my slides. There we go. I do want to, and I think this is probably pretty clear, but this is more than just a project. This is clearly a program. And I'll touch on this in a few parts here this morning, and I think it's important to remember that as this program unfolds, this isn't just one project, as I said. It could be many, and the opportunities here aren't a one-time opportunity. There are opportunities here for likely some years to come. And with any approach like this, the main focus that we have, and I'm sure the other teams have as well, is to build relationships. It's about a long-term relationship. It's about finding firms that we can help and that can help us and that we can work together and help develop and have a long-term relationship, not just on one project, but from, again, the programmatic approach. And I would also argue, some of you work very, very local here. Some of you work obviously in a much broader geographic reach. And again, I think the opportunity here is to do both of those. It's to talk about this project and have a focus on this project, but also the program that Maryland has put together, as well as a regional focus and relationship building and working together with us and other teams for the long term to help your companies become successful, again, not just from a one opportunity kind of view, but as a much broader broader opportunity. I do want to give the Maryland Department of Transportation a lot of credit here. Obviously, it's their project, so they get the credit for that. But they have gone above and beyond, I think, from what I have a background in the DOT for 30 years. And I've seen the good and maybe some things that aren't so good, as I've seen some programs like this being developed. And I would suggest this one has been remarkably good. I think the DOT has done a really, really good job of not just sharing with all of you how important it is. Somebody could go on mute, that'd be great. Thank you. But also impressing upon us as developer teams how important that the view that Maryland DOT has on the importance of this particular issue. So I do give them a lot of credit for that. What I want to do is introduce our team. If you don't know who we are, that's obviously part of the goal here this morning. The lead developer is ACS Infrastructure, and I am Steve DeWitt. I represent ACS Infrastructure here this morning. Our lead contractor is Dragados USA, and I'll talk about them here a bit more. Our design team is comprised of Parsons and Jacobs and HDR, three very well-known national firms that bring great capabilities, but also provide great opportunities for many of you out there. And then we as ACS also perform the lead operations and maintenance for the many years to come. So we as a lead developer, we are leading the project pursuit here. We are one of the largest, if not the largest, developing contracting entity in the world. Could somebody go on mute? I hear a lot of papers. As you see the E&R list at the bottom, we're listed as number 1, and we actually own the majority of number 2. So we do a lot, but that being said, while we are global in the efforts that we have corporately, we very much are focused on North America, and in particular on the United States in terms of our development. And our global contractor, Dragados, is actually based in New York these days, and our concession arm is based in Miami. So we are very much now a U.S. company in many ways. I won't dwell on this slide. You can certainly see this, and you can see where we are around the world. We are P3 developers. We have been quite successful in North America. We've been successful in Canada, and obviously here in the United States, given the many things that we've done. There's a couple projects you see on here, just as an example of some of the toll work that we've done, one in Florida, one in Texas, and there are others. We are focused on a wide variety of assets. So while I mentioned earlier, we're focused here obviously on the Maryland project and the Maryland program. Building the relationship with many of you is important to us as we look at other projects and even different assets, whether it's rail or water projects or whatever it may be that may pop up in the particular region. As I mentioned, we as ACS, we do long-term operations, and we'll talk about that here again in a minute for the opportunities that might be there for many others to join us and be part of the team with us. And Dragados is our main contractor, also under our umbrella of companies as the ACS group is Flatiron, Turner on the vertical side. I'm sure you're aware of them. And there's others. There's local subsidiaries of Dragados in particular areas, Boston, New York, and others that are also part of our team. And again, as we think about relationship building, again, not just for this project, but more programmatically, that's important to us to connect with you for this and other ventures. You can see a list of the ACS North American concessions, just to give, again, an idea of what we do and the breadth of what we do. Our contractor, I'll touch on them here in just a moment, but they do a whole lot more than this. These are really the P3 projects that we're involved in, all the way from those very small antique funicular in downtown Los Angeles to the People Mover at LAX to the Gordie Howe Bridge from Detroit to Windsor, Canada, which is an extremely large project. People ask about P3s, what makes them successful, and I'm not going to go through all of these slides here, but it's really about the right team, and that right team includes absolutely wrapping our arms around the local community, pulling in folks that have local knowledge, local commitment, local passion, that know the commitment or know the communities and know the folks in those communities that can be part of the project, maybe not even from a contracting standpoint, but can be supportive in other ways. We want to be inclusive. We have to be inclusive. We want that partnership philosophy that is incredibly important as part of inclusivity. we want the right focus. We want to do the right things for the project, for Maryland DOT, for all of you that become part of a team on a project that we're involved in. We absolutely want to be innovative. We want to be creative. We want to use the best of what you have to help us be the best of what we can possibly be. And we feel very strongly that we're a leader in this market because of the way we have really built our teams and how we've shown the success and value of P3s overall. Awards, you know, they're awards. They're nice, but you know, that's not why we exist. But certainly, it's nice to be recognized by your peers and others for the good things that you do. And I'm not going to go through any of these, but you can see from our broad number of awards that we've won a lot over the years. And these awards are for a multitude of things, partnerships and inclusivity and financing strategies and all kinds of things. And we're very proud of where we are in this country. From the construction side of view, Dragados, again, is our major contractor. They are large, but they also very much appreciate the need to wrap their arms, as I say, around the local community to make sure that we have the right view in terms of local community, who they are, the way the local community is thinking about a project, the opportunities that are there for many of you to be part of that. And we do that everywhere we go, as these other teams that are talking to you today are. They all understand the importance of having that local connection and that local work and the opportunities that are there for all of us, or for all of you. Again, I won't dwell on the projects here, but you can see some examples of the kinds of things that we've been involved in. Major projects, absolutely major projects around the country. From the Virginia standpoint, there's two projects here that are important. I think these are the two largest projects in the Virginia area, maybe ever. The parallel Thimble Shoal Tunnel, which is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge parallel tunnel, is maybe just starting in terms of the boring process, but a pretty interesting project. And then the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel expansion has just been given the go-ahead to start what I would call the heavy construction. And again, as I talk about building relationships from a more regional view, these aren't that far away from the Maryland project or projects. And again, we want to make sure we're focused on long-term relationships and opportunities. And then the LAX People Movers, a unique project. I won't touch on that, but that's been a very special project. Just like with any other big construction project, there's construction opportunities, and I won't go through this whole list, but it runs the gamut from just about anything that you can imagine. And these are the kinds of things that we will need help with on this project, as well as from a regional perspective. Our design team, again, Parsons, Jacobs, HDR, all probably well known to many of you. They have been involved in the area for many, many years and involved in many, many projects within the Maryland area. And you can see the details here on the slide in terms of their breadth and their depth and the number of employees they have, their ranking in terms of E&R, which has some value, I think, in terms of showing people that these are successful companies that know what they're doing. But again, very, very important to have the right opportunities there for others, for local folks to be part of our team. I'm not going to spend time on this one really much either, but the planning work, the design work, the other elements of these many projects, you can see this regional map where all these projects are. And again, you can see that this is a very regional and local, if you will, team. Many opportunities that are here for design/engineering type work. Again, not going to go through all these, but it's vast, and it's pretty much everywhere through the program. It's not just up front. It's not just in the middle of the program or project, and it's not just at the end. It's all the way through it. And our goal is to build meaningful opportunities for local firms throughout this long-term programmatic approach. Again, ACS, we do the lead on the operations and maintenance, and these are the kinds of things that you know, if this is a 50-year concession, say, the opportunities can be long, and there can be quite a career path really built within the way these projects are structured and the many things that we do within them. And again, they run the gamut from everything from paving to traffic control to administration, all kinds of things within these opportunities. I sort of want to sum this up with some thoughts. And I give Maryland DOT a lot of credit for their heavy, heavy focus on inclusivity and how important it is. And Lisa and her team have drilled that into everybody's heads, which is really, really important, I think. These are large projects. These are, no doubt, these are large projects, maybe the largest in the country at this point. And these are being pursued by very large companies, no doubt about that. If you're in this pursuit as a lead developer, you're a large company. It's just the way this is. All of these teams, no matter who you end up with, no matter who wins this project, these are highly successful, reputable companies. They want to help you succeed. We do. Any other team here that wins will want you to succeed, and I think that's really important. You really need to understand what you're getting into. You don't need to be a PDA expert. You don't need to be a P3 expert. You don't even necessarily need to be a design build expert. You certainly need to be an expert in whatever you're doing, but you need to understand how you fit within the picture and how you fit within that P3 concept that's being talked about here. And obviously building those relationships and learning through that is a key part of this. I really would caution you to make sure you understand what you're signing up for. Make sure you know what your role is in this project and how you fit within that. And, you know, read the contract and do those things. You have to do what you sign up to do. Just make sure you know what you're signing up to do, without a doubt. It's really important. This is a program, again, so there's a long-term process here. And the first couple years, year and a half, whatever, as design is going through, there may not be an opportunity for quality control, quality assurance, whatever, in construction for 2 years, say, or maybe even longer. And you just need to understand that if that is an area where you want to pursue, it may be a little while before you actually have a project out of this. Don't be discouraged by that. That's the way this program is being set up. There'll be a lot of opportunities on this massive program. I just think you need to make sure that you don't lose sight of that. Make sure you know where you fit within this whole program. I think that's really a key part of this. And I would leave your options open. You know, who knows who's going to win this thing at the end of the day? And you want to be with that winning team, right? So that's important. But also, again, all of these companies work within this region. These companies want to build long-term relationships, and they want you to be part of that, whatever projects they may be with them. And it's really critical, again, for that. And the last point I'll make, again, I've said it, Lisa said it, everybody has said it so far. This is more than just a project, it's a program. So the opportunities here really are vast. So engage often, engage deeply, and there should be opportunities for many folks here. I'll leave you with this. This is our email address for the project. If you, and we'll be talking to many of you today, but if you have any questions and you want us to contact you and so forth, you see the email there, and we'd be more than happy. We'd be honored to have an opportunity to speak with you. And Lisa, that concludes my comments.
Thanks, Steve. And I want to thank the Potomac Mobility Group for participating in the event today. Next will be Rebecca Brooks, representing the Capital Express Mobility Partners. Rebecca? And Steve, just remember to stop sharing your presentation.
Thanks for the heads up. Yeah.
Thank you. I am pulling up our presentation now, so you should be able to see it. Please let me know if you have any trouble.
We can hear you and see you, Rebecca. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So we're really excited to be here today. We greatly appreciate MDOT setting up this opportunity for us to be able to reach out to so many firms who may be interested in working on the project. You know, we're really excited to be here. We know that we have meetings scheduled with a number of you throughout the day so that you can learn more about us, we can learn more about you, and you can find out about some of the opportunities that our team has. We know that some of you may not have been able to get a time slot for one of the one-on-one sessions, so we do encourage you to please reach out to us. We would love to connect with you. We have a slide later in the presentation that will show you a variety of ways that you can connect with us, and we'd love to hear from you. I know we've got a number of people watching live, but also, you know, once the event is over and the recording's made available, if you're watching this later, please do still reach out to us. We would love to talk with you. So we're going to take a few minutes this morning to tell you a little bit about our team. I and Mike Keno from Ferroville Construction are going to walk through that. And then we're going to turn it over to Angela Robertson, who's going to tell you about our team's proven commitment to working with a local diverse workforce. She's also going to cover some of the opportunities that our team has, not only opportunities for local firms, but also individuals who are just interested in getting to know us and maybe becoming part of our team. So please do stay tuned for that. So first, let me tell you about our team members. You may recognize some of our members from our logos. We are recognized throughout the US and abroad for our ability to develop and deliver really large, complex, innovative transportation projects that are just like phase 1 of Maryland's P3 program. Cintra, the firm that I work for, is the lead developer for the project. We'll be managing all aspects of the project, including performing the operations and maintenance of the facilities as they're built. Ferrovial Construction, our sister company, is the lead contractor. AECOM is our lead designer, and they'll be supported by HNTB. We advance to the next slide. Our team brings significant experience on similar projects throughout the U.S. The ones that you see here are some of the projects that we've worked on. Currently, we've developed, delivered, and we currently manage 5 of the 9 private managed lanes projects in the U.S. Together, these projects total a little over $8 billion in construction value. Some of you may be familiar with the project on the left. It's the Transform 66 Outside the Beltway project. This is next door in Virginia. So I know that Mike and Angela both will refer to this project later in the presentation. So we do bring that local experience too, and we've worked with a lot of local firms on that project, and we're continuing to work with local firms on that project. Cintra is the lead developer and operator. Cintra has been delivering and managing innovative P3 transportation projects for more than 50 years. We manage the entire life cycle of a project. We help public agencies identify innovative and viable solutions to address their transportation needs. As projects move into a solicitation phase, we work with public agencies to refine the project parameters as we're developing our approach. Once our team's been selected, we finance the projects, and then we oversee the design and construction efforts. And then finally, once the projects have been built, we operate and maintain the facilities for terms that can extend up to 50 years or longer. Currently, we manage a little more than 2,000 or approximately 2,000 miles of roadway in North America. A little over half of this is made up of the managed lanes projects that I just showed you in the US. Since 2005, we've committed $3.2 billion in equity, and we've raised more than $15 billion in financing for projects in North America. So, this is the bread and butter of what we do. We do a lot of managed lanes projects. Our team members bring a lot of experience in this, and we really look forward to having an opportunity to work not only with MDOT, but with a lot of the local firms who are watching today. And with that, I will turn it over to Mike Keno with Ferrovial Construction to tell you a little bit about Ferrovial Construction and our design firms. Mike?
Thank you, Rebecca, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us today. I serve as the construction project manager for Ferrovial Construction on this important program. Just by way of background, Ferrovial Construction is headquartered in Austin, Texas. We have regional offices throughout the United States and projects throughout the United States, with a regional office in North Bethesda, Maryland. We also bring to the table extensive experience and capital, human resources, equipment, and financial resources. We have over 1,000 construction professionals in the United States, and we have the experience of having delivered over 25 design, build, finance, operate, and maintain projects with Cintra, with over $10 billion in construction value. And noteworthy is that we are currently working in Northern Virginia on the Transform 66 Outside the Beltway project. So we have extensive experience working in the Mid-Atlantic region, and we're looking forward to extending that into the state of Maryland as well. The next slide, please. We're very fortunate to be working with 2 of the premier engineering consulting firms in the United States, AECOM and HNTB. Both have completed dozens of P3 and design build projects in the United States with many $1 billion in construction value. Both have extensive experience working in Maryland and the Mid-Atlantic region. We have worked with both firms, and we're looking forward to continuing that relationship on this project as well. Next slide, please. It goes without saying that construction is very much like politics. It's local. We have extensive experience working in the United States, and as you can see on the left-hand side of this slide, when we perform our work, we seek out local partners that we can partner with and execute the work. Many hundreds of firms are required to successfully complete a project. And specifically looking at the Transform 66 outside the Beltway project, as you can see from this slide, the project is still under construction, and we have already contracted with over 400 firms. And we expect that those firms will complete over 90% of the work on that project, as they do on many of the projects that we work with. As a parting thought, I would like to emphasize that we understand and completely appreciate the importance of building relationships with local firms. It is a key success factor to getting the job done, and we're looking forward to working with you in Maryland.
Thank you, Mike. And now I will turn it over to Angela to talk about our commitment and opportunities. Angela?
Good morning. As Rebecca and Michael said, we are very committed to not only utilizing local businesses, but making sure that those local businesses in our team include diversity and diversity within our team. We do this based on an ACE strategy, which is to provide access not only to the workforce, but also to contract opportunities, commitment to our diversity and inclusion, not only, again, in our workforce, but also within our contracts, and engaging with the community and especially the local community to make sure they're informed about the opportunities that are available on this project. Next slide, please. So access opportunities for the local workforce. We, of course, will connect with the local industry, organizations, community connections, workforce development programs, our local schools and colleges. We'll have a job portal on our website, as well, of course, when we get into the section work and the construction phase, the on-the-job training program. During the pre-development stages, we will also use those same resources to make sure that we reach out for local workforce, for engineers, professional services staff, administrative support. With the massive amount of colleges and higher learning institutions, we will look for apprenticeships, our vocational schools, and as well as the vocational programs within some of our local and regional ISDs. We will look for apprenticeship as well as internship opportunities. And again, those opportunities and access to opportunities will also be available in our section work and our design phase work as it relates to construction in the field and management, administrative support, again, the internships, as well as apprenticeships. Next slide, please. So access to opportunities. Right now, as you'll see on the next few slides, there is a QR code at the top. Please register to let us know that you're interested in doing business with us. It is already up and operative. And so we look forward to knowing who you are and hopefully being able to meet with you, if not later today in the one-on-ones, later on at our event, or just throughout the process as we go through. And then again, we will use local resources for making sure that we extend and everyone is knowledgeable in the community about our opportunities through local groups and industry organizations such as COMTO, such as the local contracting groups, as well as our community connections, as well as opportunities that will be consistently listed on our website. And then we also understand the need, and as we go through during our pre-development stage, a contractor capacity building program to make sure contract readiness for doing work on MDOT and MDOT type projects are available. So let's talk about potential opportunities. For right now, as was stated earlier, we're looking at the pre-development stage. So we're currently looking for several opportunities, mostly design and professional services opportunities. In the section work, which is your traditional design build work, we will be looking for design and professional services as well as construction work. Those solicitations will start spring, summer of 2022. But that doesn't mean that we won't get ready and getting to know who you are and expressing and making connection with interested firms throughout that process. Once again, if you register to become a vendor with our database using the QR code at the top corner, that is one way that we will start connecting with you, even though we're not at a phase at this time to look for specific opportunities as it relates to the section work. And then that same enthusiasm about making sure that opportunities are available for all, especially diverse firms, will also be available in the operation and maintenance phase. Next slide, please. As we talked about, we are right now consistently looking at the pre-development phase work. And these are the opportunities that we're looking for. Existing condition survey services, appraisal services, right-of-way services, community outreach, geotechnical drilling, videotaping, subsurface engineering, as well as MOT services. But there's several design services that will be utilized not only with the team as a whole, but especially with our design partners, HNTB and AECOM. And there are several types of miscellaneous design services that we will utilize, including roadways, structures, drainage, noise, utilities, environmental, MOT, ITS, and the myriad of things that go with electrical, lighting, and signage, landscaping, geotech services, as well as traffic. And so there's a number of opportunities that they're here. They're also available on our website. And if you register as a vendor, we will definitely make sure you connect with the appropriate colleague in order to continue the conversation and possibly opportunity on working with us. Next slide, please. We are committed. Our team has been committed, and we've got proven results on our DBE participation on P3 and design build projects. As mentioned before, with the design build, or actually with the P3 projects that we've done nationwide, including the project, the Transform I-66 outside the Beltway project in Virginia. As you see, not only do we achieve the goals on those that we have completed, but we are on track to achieve the goals as well. And it's not just with one or two firms. Just as we use multiple firms in the completion of all of our work, DBE participation is utilized by using multiple DBE firms, as well as sometimes multiple contracts with those DBE firms. And so we just want to make sure our commitment is thorough, not only achieving the DBE goals, but the commitment to the local DBE firms. Next slide, please. This is not only prevalent on our overall DBE projects, but definitely as it relates to professional services and pre-development work as utilizing with our partners, HNTB and AECOM. And these are some of their history of achieving established DBE goals on some projects. And most of these, as you see, are local projects in this region as well. So you see that our entire team, not just the contracting side and the developer side, but also in the pre-development side, which is going to be heavily in the professional services with our partners, HNTB and AECOM. It is important to show that that level of commitment and inclusion is applicable throughout the team. Next slide, please. So how do we anticipate engaging? Communication. We're starting here right now. We've actually been in touch with a number of firms already. And so through CARE, let us know who you are. Follow up with us. We will follow up with you. Again, utilize our website to make sure that we to keep in touch on where we are and what we're doing. Our certifications, as you see, especially as it relates to the goals. Are you certified as a DBE? Do you have the correct work category codes? That is all. Do you understand and know the requirements of the project? Some of that we will provide those access, as we talked about, through our outreach and through our interaction to making sure that you know that. In fact, we will be conducting an outreach session on November 18th from 10 until 12 p.m. And you should be getting information about that to let you know a little bit more about our team. And then, of course, registering as a vendor. You've seen the QR codes. I'll put it up once again to let us know that you're interested in working with us. We're interested in working with you. We want to know that you're interested in working with us. So that is also very important. And then, of course, understand the expectations. We've listed some of the opportunities that we will be utilizing in our pre-development phase, as well as we will discuss opportunities that could be used in the section work as well. Next slide, please. And as Rebecca mentioned, this is how you connect with us. Not only registering as a vendor using the QR code here, but also visit our website. It's online, capitalexpressmp.com. It has information about us. It will have information about our upcoming outreach event on November 18th. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at, especially about any DBE opportunities or local vending opportunities. Just email us at dbeinfo@ferrovial.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. That concludes our presentation. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Rebecca, the Capital Express Mobility Partners, the entire team. Our last presentation will be the Accelerate Maryland Express Partners. And I believe Melanie Vandervalk will be leading that discussion. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Lisa. Good morning. I'm just going to share my screen now. Give me a second. Okay, can you see my screen and presentation?
Yes, we can see it, Melanie. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I've asked my team to turn their videos on so you can see us all. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Lisa. Thank you to Opportunity MDOT and MDOT for this fantastic platform this morning and reaching so many firms. My name is Melanie Vandervalk. I am part of the AMP Express team, Accelerate Maryland Express Partners. We are a group of companies comprised of lead developer, Itinera Infrastructure and Concessions, whose parent company is ASTM based in Italy. Our lead contractors are Halmar International and Itinera Spa. All four companies are fully integrated and part of the same group. Our lead design firms are Gannett, Fleming, and Atkins, all of whom are on the presentation today. And so our team is going to participate throughout. We want to have a dynamic sort of discussion with you all. We're very proud to participate in the Maryland Capital Beltway Program Phase 1. And you've heard from Lisa and her team about the project, but we'd like to introduce you to our project executive, David Sikorsky. David?
Yeah, hi, good morning, and thank you, Melanie. Hi, everybody. Just want to take a couple minutes to say hello, introduce myself. As Melanie says, I'm going to be the phase developer project manager for this, exciting project for the AMP Express team. And I think as Lisa described at the beginning, I mean, that this project is a great opportunity, not only for all of us that are going to build it, but for Maryland and the traveling public. I mean, the improvements and the resultant congestion relief are going to be incredibly well received. I'm Vice President, Director of Special Projects for Halmar, and I have about 35 years of experience in transportation projects, with about the last 15 being in the P3 world. So I'm really looking forward to developing this project with you, and why we're all here today is to build out a great team to bring this project together. So as we know, it's a pre-development agreement, so beginning in the spring is when the opportunities really kick in, but there's going to be, this is a long-term project when you add in the 50-year O&M, so we're really looking forward to working with you and getting to meet you today. So with that, I'll throw it back to Melanie, who's going to give a little bit more of an overview of our team.
Thank you. And yes, I just want to share with you all that our team is a very experienced group of companies, beginning with the developer. We are one of the most mature developers in the P3 world worldwide. We've delivered 4 complete P3s to completion of 35 years or more successfully. And we've been participating for almost 100 years, or over 100 years rather, in the infrastructure sector. And you can see a sprinkling of the number of roads and P3s we've delivered worldwide, the traffic counts, and where the 270 and 495 fit on that scale. So you can see that we have quite robust experience managing congestion and delivering P3s across the world. So we're very excited about the chance to participate in delivering this project and meeting MDOT's goals. So a little bit more about the opportunities. David, do you want to cover for a moment some of the upcoming opportunities as part of this program before I get into the developer itself?
Yeah, sure. I think, since, we'll get into some of these with our designers, Janet Fleming and Atkins, but the general opportunities cover, the full gamut of what we're going to be doing here. Obviously, a major transportation project, but with the pre-development phase early on, there's going to be a lot of design opportunities. And then as we're developing the project, right away permitting. So any types of work that you do in the transportation arena will really be welcome here.
Thank you, David. Sorry, I'm just trying to change slides here. There we go. So a little bit more about Itinera Infrastructure and Concessions, who's affiliated with ASTM. We're a global developer providing all aspects of the design, construction, finance, operations, and maintenance, and technological innovations. We are all fully integrated in the same group of companies delivering complex transportation and other infrastructures in the P3 projects worldwide. Again, as I said, we have 100 years in infrastructure. We're the second largest toll road operator in the world by road miles. We have 20 billion in assets under management, and we're, again, as I said, fully vertically integrated, which means for DVEs, we have double the opportunities. We're both at the developer level, but also at the contractor level with Halmar. And then I know that later on you'll hear more from our contractor, but to highlight that we are moving our contractor into Maryland directly, opening a regional office for Halmar in the state of Maryland. So we will be pursuing a number of opportunities working with us. It's about the long-term relationship on multiple projects. So please do connect with us, and we'll have more about that later in this presentation. So as you can see, our global ranking, second largest in the world by road miles. Some of our competitors that presented this morning are also on this list. And we like to deliver road networks. So the Capital Beltway fits nicely into our investment strategy in that we don't come in and do one project and leave. We like to come in, stay for the long term, deliver it, and bid other phases and other projects. So for example, in Italy and Brazil, we operate a number of toll roads that are integrated. So this is something, again, for Maryland, we are investing in the long term. We're there to stay, so do connect with us. We would really like to work with you and build relationships locally. So I'm going to now pass the mic over to Craig Colville to talk a little bit more about Halmar International. Craig?
Thank you, Melanie. Good morning to everybody. My name is Craig Colville. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Halmar International. Halmar International is 60 years headquartered in New York, is an American heavy civil contractor. As Melanie mentioned, we'll be opening an office in Baltimore, Maryland very shortly. That's due to the work that we've already won in the Mid-Atlantic. So there are lots of opportunities to create relationships with you now on projects that we're doing now, but those relationships will come into this program. And so we're also doing obviously outreach today for this amazing program, a very, very large program, lots of opportunities. Halmar is a heavy civil contractor. The work we do is highways, bridges and transit, as you can see here. Melanie also mentioned that the traffic numbers on some of our projects. We pride ourselves that the projects we do are in dense urban environments, and they have huge traffic congestion numbers there. And that's the specialty that we bring, is to be able to work and build things with our designers on board in a design build arrangement, but also with our developer from the point of view of operations and maintenance future down the line, the ability to work with very large traffic numbers while we build that safely and environmentally sensitive to the communities. Next slide, please.
So now I'll pass the mic over to the design team. Jason Sipes, do you want to take the mic?
Yeah, thank you, Melanie. Good morning. I'm Jason Sipes. I'm the Senior Project Director here for Atkins, and I'll be serving as a design manager on this project. Now, Atkins, along with Gannett Fleming, will be the co-design leaders, and we're very excited to be a part of this team. Now, Atkins is a fully integrated global engineering, design, and project management company consisting of over 50,000 employees with offices over in 50 countries worldwide. And we have extensive experience in designing large infrastructure projects throughout the United States and elsewhere. Now, we've been serving the DC metro area for over 40 years and have our local offices here in Calverton and been actively involved in the DBE community. Next slide. Now, on this next slide, you'll see some of the projects that we've designed over the course of the years. Now, today I have Arthur Jones-Dove with me, and some of you may already have worked with Arthur as he's based in our Calverton office. So he'll be giving an overview on the diversity and early opportunities. Next slide. This next slide is our partner, Gannett Fleming, which is one of the top engineering firms as well in the country, and has been working locally with SHA for over 40 years and has been supporting them on their DBE programs. You can see on the next slide some of the projects that they've been involved with here locally in Maryland with the Inter-County Connector Project and also with the Watkins Mill projects. Now with that, I'd like to turn it over to Arthur to discuss some of those early opportunities that we have on this project. Arthur?
Thank you, Jason. As Jason said, my name is Arthur Jones-Dove. I'm a vice president with Atkins in our Calverton, Maryland office. I am a proud resident of Maryland for the past 26 years, a graduate of Montgomery College and University of Maryland College Park. Go Terps. I am truly honored to be part of this exceptional team and program. Over the years, Atkins and Gannett Fleming have worked with many of you in this region, and we believe in diversity of thought, and we cannot wait to engage with you again. So work anticipated in spring of 2021 is, as we've heard before, is in the pre-development phase. As you can see on the slide, that work ranges from your typical to complex civil engineering related services, such as highway, structural, drainage, environmental, community outreach, estimating, document control, just to name a few. We are committed to partnering and investing in small, diverse, and local businesses. We have done this over the years. We believe when we work collaboratively, we all win and we benefit the local community. Please send your calls to the diversity email so we can start and continue to develop this relationship. Thank you.
So David, over to you.
Yeah, so I just had to turn off my mute there. Yeah, thanks. So again, just to round out this, how excited we are about this project and how we're looking forward to build out the team. As we just showed on the last slide, the opportunities really are almost endless here. We're really looking forward to get you on our team. And I don't want to, read the whole list, but all sorts of design, whether it's civil, structural, traffic, geotech, we're going to have help with that. Some other things we're going to be doing right away: community outreach, ITS, noise studies, project controls. There's a lot to do on this project. We have a great team ready to go, and we're looking forward to having more of you join it. So with that, I think I'm going to throw it over to Dennis, who's going to really talk to you about how to get really involved with our team.
Thanks, David. Dennis, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dennis Capolino. I'm a vice president at Halmar International, and for Halmar, I serve as our chief procurement officer and also our chief diversity officer. So I'm going to be ultimately responsible for the contracting aspect of the project, which is going to integrate the diversity into the whole contracting process. So how to become involved in this project with us? We have a step process, and the first step is obviously solicitation of interest. We're going to reach out to you when we need your services. There will be, we will solicitate through emails. We use a web-based system, High Square Foot. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. It's one of the industry standard platforms. We'll also be sending out personal emails and written notices. We will be advertising in a lot of the disadvantaged business-based periodicals and online, and we will be actively chasing you to partner with us. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Dennis. So now I'll pass the mic over to Jason Williams to talk a little bit more about how to reach us. Jason?
Thanks, Melanie. This is Jason once again, MD Strategic Consulting. My purpose is focused on helping with the diversity and inclusion team and also connecting you to the project. My former job was in Prince George's County as Vice President of Economic Development, and now my small businesses here in Maryland in community development focus on construction, focus on community engagement, but I've been through the MDOT processes and understand how to get you access to not only this team, but also readiness for opportunity. During COVID, so many of us have had to pivot and done so many new things. We want to make sure that your certifications are up to date, work with you through that process, but I also want to make sure you get access to the team that's here. You have an incredible team in Halmar, and they are excited to work with you now and in the future. Please check out our website. It has all of our upcoming events, like the event on November 17th, and we also have had events in the past. So please join us on the November 17th for a pre-development event, and we look forward to working with you, and check out our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. So as Jason said, how to reach us. You can email us anytime, and we want you to know our entire team is accessible to you. Everybody that spoke to you today will be participating this afternoon in the one-to-ones, and again, while those that weren't able to get a one-to-one, join us November 17th. Get on our website, register for the event. There's an RSVP link directly to the event details, and just follow us online. So with that, if we have a few more minutes, I guess I'm just going to pass it over now to Lisa and close out my presentation. Lisa?
Thanks, Melanie, and thank you to the Accelerate Maryland Express Partners team. Give me a moment here while I get my presentation back up. And let's see. So hopefully everyone can see the slide that says instructions for section 2. Again, I want to thank all the shortlisted teams for your participation today. It was a great first opportunity, and I know there's going to be multiple opportunities in the future for DDE firms to coordinate and network with each of our 4 proposers. I do want to remind everybody that the presentations, this morning session 1, was recorded, and it will be uploaded to our P3 program website in the very near future, so that all the information that was presented, as well as the contact information, will be available on our website shortly after today's event. But at this point, I would like to introduce our Opportunity MDOT Outreach Coordinator, Raina Sorrell-Dudley, who will share instructions on how to successfully transition from this session 1 into the one-on-one meetings for those DBE firms that had pre-registered and their opportunity to meet with the 4 proposers. So with that, Raina?
Thank you, Lisa. When you registered for this event, if you were able to select an appointment time for the one-to-one meetings, you should have received a follow-up email with an appointment schedule confirmation. At this time, we ask that you please refer to your appointment schedule for the links to attend each of your one-to-one meetings. Once you click the link, you will automatically be entered into a private meeting room. Remember, you only have 8 minutes, so have your capabilities statement ready to share virtually. When your time is up, you will click Leave to exit that meeting and refer back to your appointment schedule for your next meeting. Repeat this process until you have met with all 4 shortlisted proposers. If you have trouble connecting, there is a dial-in option available for each meeting, also on your appointment schedule. If you need additional support, please contact our help desk at 833-858-5960. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed this presentation.
So at this point, oops, sorry, Raina, if you could put yourself, thank you. So at this point, we are a little bit ahead of schedule. Looks like it's 9:15. And the one-on-one meetings will not start until 9:30. So it's a great opportunity for everyone to get themselves a coffee, stretch their legs before the one-on-one events start very shortly. I want to thank you all again for participating in the MDOT SHA Opportunity MDOT networking event with our shortlisted proposers. I hope this information, not only from MDOT SHA's P3 office, as well as our 4 shortlisted proposers, has been very helpful, and we look forward to engaging with you in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lisa.